question. Because you're moving off the topic, but because you're young and because you're so nice, I'll just go with you. All right? But the fact of the matter is, the thing that you need to take home at the end of the day is that you have been sold a lie in the masjid. You've been told a lie that all Qurans are the same. You've seen it evidenced here today. You need to now go away and think through what are the implications of the fact that you have just witnessed with your own eyes two different Qurans in front of you. Now, going to your next question, why am I talking about this and not all the nice things that Muhammad says about Christians?
Exactly.
Right, I'll address that point for multiple reasons. Firstly, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the conversation, but this whole conversation started when a Muslim approached me to attack the Bible.
Well, that's wrong.
Right, hold on 1 second. Yeah. You're asking why am I talking about this?
Yes.
We got talking about this. I was going to talk about something else today. A Muslim came to me and attacked my Bible,
yes,
and I simply defended my Bible, and then he changed the topic onto textual variants. Not me. He was the one that brought it up, not me. And I think that if you establish a principle by which you judge other people's religions, it's only fair that people take that same principle and beat you over the head with it.
Exactly.
So in other words, if you say, I can't believe the Bible because it's got textual variants, well, be consistent. If there are textual variants in the Quran, stop believing in the Quran. Let me finish.
Exactly.
Let me finish.
What?
Let me finish. Now, you said, why don't I talk about all the nice things that Muhammad said about Christians?
Not said. Covenant.
Muslims,
yes,
the regulars in the park. I'm not saying you particularly,
yes,
and I'm sure there's many in the audience that are maybe visitors here today and you've never done this. But the regular Muslims in the park go around the park consistently attacking the Christian faith.
But they're not.
1 second.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, go and tell them that. 1 second. No, 1 second. Because I've watched the Dawah channel. 1 second. 1 second. I've watched the Dawah channels that operate here at the park. I've never seen any Muslim go up to the Muslim regulars and say, why do you keep attacking the Christian faith?
I did.
Right, well, go and do it now then. You go and do it, you go and do it, and you go and do it. Don't come to me and say, why are you attacking Islam, when the Muslims are consistently attacking the Christian faith. If you establish a principle, i.e. you can attack my religion, I'm entitled to pick that principle up and beat you over the head with it. In other words, if Muslims can attack Christianity in the park, I can attack Islam in the park. And if you don't like it, go and preach to the Muslims, not to me.
It's true.
Okay.
Criticism isn't wrong.
Bob, the Quran categorically prevents us from doing that exact same thing that you just said.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you want to take that back while you've got a chance?
Okay. No. Do you have the Quran with you?
Yes, of course I got a translation of the Quran. Look, bro, you're a good man. Okay. You're a good man. No, I'm not handing you my Quran.
Can I just understand something?
Okay. Let me just
think that the Arabic Quran is different from the Arabic Quran.
Yeah, and we just confirmed that independently.
No. So if I get my Quran at home and show it to you, and he gets his Quran from home and shows it to you, you're going to show us a difference.
I'm telling you, if you get your Quran from your home and yours is a wash Quran, and he gets his Quran from his home and his is an Hafs Quran, they are different. They're in Arabic. Yes, sir, they're in Arabic. They are different. No, forgive me, but I've already had this conversation in depth.
Their Quran from home, you won't
in
find
depth.
a difference.
I'm sorry, but we've already proven that wrong. We've already proven that wrong. We've already proven that wrong. Brother, I'm sorry, but you're late to this conversation, and I literally just spent 40 minutes proving you wrong. Forgive me for not doing it again. No, I'm talking about the Arabic, sir, and he was here. He saw it. Okay. Ask him.
What did he show you?
No.
والذين قتلوا في سبيل الله.
And in the other one?
والذين قاتلوا.
قاتلوا. And قتلوا and قاتلوا, are they the same?
No.
Are they the same?
Were they in no, of course they're not.
Thank you. There you go. They're not the same. Everyone agrees they're not the same. And then in the next breath, all the Muslims are saying all the Qurans are the same. You can't have it both ways. They're either different words or they're not. If they're different words, you have different Qurans. If they're not different words, you have the same Quran. You don't have Qurans with all the same words, so you don't have the same Quran. It's just logical. I know that that logic and that evidence contradicts every lie you've been told in the masjid. I know that that logic and that evidence contradicts every Muslim speaker that lied to you. But they are lying because they have been told a lie. You have been told a lie about your Quran. They are not the same. There are different Qurans. The belief that the Quran was perfectly preserved is a falsity. So, what? No.
So if you get two different words Qurans,
We've already done that as well, sir. Yes, there are differences there as well. So,
Are they written differently?
now, brother, you wanted to talk about the fact... Right.
Do you think he is here to be convinced by he is here?
I know very well.
Go on, what do you know very well, sir?
I know very well that you're staunch in your beliefs.
Yes.
he already proved you wrong before, so now I don't know why you're repeating it. He already proved that you...
He didn't say anything. Right, so put this guy on camera.
Yeah.
Right? This guy on camera. Right? This is the guy that when I said the words in Arabic, he went, oh, and I actually,
you don't
one
translate good
second, I showed him the transliteration and he went, oh, I don't know. Then hold on. Then I said the word verbally and an Arabic woman recognized the word and translated it identically to our translation. He did nothing.
I can bring the woman.
He did nothing.
I translate for you.
He did nothing.
You didn't translate the whole
He did
sentence.
nothing. And this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is the problem. And I understand why Muslims desperately want to cling on to the idea that all Qurans are the same. Because if they deal with the evidence, they would have to abandon Islam. And I openly invite you, sir, to abandon Islam. I invite you, sir, to abandon Islam. subjected us.
What about the
They then
crusade?
subjected
What about
us.
the crusade?
They then
What about the
subjected us
crusade? What about the
to
crusade?
dimitude.
You murder Muslims.
Dimitude was to make Christians second-class citizens in their own countries.
What about the crusade?
In their own countries. That is what Sharia law means for us as Christians. And that is why
Talk to me.
it is
Talk to
the
me.
basis.
Talk to me.
I will shortly.
What about the
I will
crusade?
shortly.
The crusade.
I will shortly. I'll address that point. I'll address that point.
By Muslims.
Yeah.
So,
You murder Muslims.
that is why.
And the Jewish people.
Yes, in a minute. I'm dealing with him first. No, I'm dealing with him first.
Just one question.
I'm dealing with him first.
Can I ask one question?
Learn some manners. I'll deal with him first. Then I'll take your
What about the
question.
Americans?
So, they
Hundreds of millions of
imposed Sharia law on Christians,
Are you finished? Are you finished?
which is why
Are you finished?
every
You
Christian
become a dictator.
that can hear my voice,
Calm down.
every Christian
Read
who
it.
can hear my words,
Hallelujah.
it is your moral obligation to fight against Sharia law and to seek to remove Sharia law wherever it is found,
You will never
even to Mecca
You will
itself.
never win.
How many Native Americans
No,
did you kill? How many
no.
Native Americans did you kill?
He asked about the
How many Native
Crusades.
Americans did you
Let
kill?
me address the
How many
question.
hundreds of millions of
Let me
Native
address the
Americans
question.
did the Crusades?
Be quiet a
How many
minute.
people did you kill in Brazil,
You're gonna hold up?
Argentina, Colombia,
I'm going to deal with the Crusades.
Canada, USA?
Quiet 1 second.
How many millions?
He's being rude to you.
What did the Native Americans do to
Do you want to
you?
be? Do you want
What
to
did the
stop
Native
being rude to
Americans
him?
do to Christianity?
I'll wait until he stops being
How
rude.
many Native Americans did
I
the
will
Christians
when he stops being rude.
How many Native Americans did the Christians kill?
No,
How
no,
many
no,
Native
forget
Americans
that,
did
man.
Christians
He's talking
kill?
about
Why is
that.
that? Why is that not important?
Brother,
Why is their life
brother.
not important?
Tell
How many
us.
Aborigines did the
Listen,
Christians kill?
I want to
What
ask
did the
you-
Aborigines do to Christians?
friend, hold on.
What did the Native Americans do to Christians?
hold on,
See, you
brother.
will not answer those questions.
My
Case
friend,
closed.
my friend, I want to
Now
ask.
notice he walks away before I have the chance to answer his
All right,
questions.
Can I ask you a
I'm
question?
listening.
and you
One
answer me?
second, bro. You've already asked a
I haven't.
question.
Answer the question.
You asked about the Crusades.
Yes.
Well, I walk
Who
away.
heard him ask about the Crusades?
But that was
Who
not
wants to actually hear the answer?
Yes, I know.
How many
Speak
Native
up.
Americans-
Who wants to hear the answer?
I know.
Louder, he can't hear you. Who wants him to shut up?
He will not answer that question.
Quiet,
so I will
sir.
walk away.
Ali,
He will not
quiet,
answer
sir.
that question. How many Native Americans were
Talk
killed
about the
by
Crusades.
I will when he shuts up.
Then if you're not going to answer the question, I'll walk away.
I'll wait for him. I'll answer his
Because it
question
just shows
first.
you
Talk about
what
the Crusade.
Christianity,
See,
how it was, how it was.
Do you want to hear my answer?
Talk about the
Sum it up.
I'm waiting for him to walk away.
I'm quiet.
Okay.
Because you won't answer the question.
Notice he's walking away before I have the chance to answer the question. So, yeah, let's talk about the Crusades. Let's deal with his crusade and then I'll talk about
What did the
him.
Native Americans do to Christianity?
So the Crusades, ladies and gentlemen, the Crusades were a response to 7 centuries of Islamic aggression.
You don't know.
You don't know your history. The
What is the name?
1052
What is the name of
is
the
the
Pope?
11th century.
What is the name of the
Pope
Pope?
Urban II.
Thank you.
Thank
Tell
you.
them, tell them.
And he preached in Clermont, France, in the 11th century.
What did
He doesn't
say?
know his
What
history.
did he say? What did he say?
By that time,
What did he say?
Muslims had invaded the following Christian lands in
Look at
the
how it's
7th
changing.
century.
Look how he's changing.
Are you ready for the list?
What did the Pope say?
They invaded
What did the
Christian
Pope say?
Syria.
Excuse me.
They invaded
What did the Pope
Christian
say to
Lebanon.
the Christian? What did the
They
Pope say?
invaded Christian
You are
Palestine.
very
They
arrogant,
invaded
man.
Christian
Very
Egypt.
arrogant, very
They
arrogant.
invaded Christian Algeria.
You are
They
very
invaded
arrogant.
Christian Morocco.
Very good.
They invaded
No, they
Christian
didn't.
Armenia.
No.
They invaded
No.
Christian Georgia.
What did the
They
Pope
invaded
say?
Christian Turkey. They invaded
calm down,
Christian
calm down,
Spain.
calm down.
They invaded Christian France.
What?
They invaded Christian Sicily.
What did the Pope
They
say?
invaded Christian Italy.
Tell me.
They invaded Christian Greece. And they did it all before The first crusade.
And England
How
invaded the whole
many
Africa.
lands
England
How many
invaded the whole
lands
Africa.
must
They were in Egypt
Christians
for 72
allow
years.
Muslims to invade
about?
before they defend themselves?
What are you talking about?
Answer the question.
No, listen.
How many lands?
Listen, wait.
Answer my question.
I understand what you're saying.
I answered your question.
I'm down.
Answer
I will
mine.
answer you. I will answer
Now
you.
answer my question.
What did the...
No, my question is this.
You haven't answered mine.
I have.
You haven't.
You are going to answer my
What
question
did the
now.
Pope say?
My question to you now.
Why don't answer mine?
I have answered your
No,
question.
you haven't.
What did I say about the crusade?
What did the Pope...
He wasn't even listening.
Listen,
He was
shut
too
up.
busy
He was
shouting.
Shut up.
He was too busy shouting
listen,
because he couldn't
Listen,
shut up.
Listen.
So,
Listen.
I will ask
Look.
someone else.
Yep.
Let me ask you this.
Give us a chance.
Do a thought experiment. I'll give you a chance. Here's your chance. Answer my question.
Why don't you answer
Answer
mine?
my question.
Why don't you answer mine?
Put your hand up if you heard me answer his question. Thank you. Right.
Alibaba.
So,
All here, Alibaba.
now, do you want to hear him answer a question?
No.
Speak up. Do you want to hear him answer a question?
I win.
You gotta learn to speak up.
I win.
Right.
I win.
Here's my question. Okay. So here's my question. Here's my question. Guys,
What is your question?
are you listening?
Yes.
My question is this.
Looking at me. I forgive you. I forgive you.
Thank you. You're very kind.
I'm not Muslim
So,
like you.
What is your question?
I'm not Muslim.
What is your question?
So, my question is this. Here's the question I'm asking him.
What's the question?
How many lands are Muslims allowed to invade before Christians are permitted to take up the sword and fight back?
Can I answer that?
Yes, of course.
No. The man is telling is Muslim invaded land of a Christian land. Now, in the 10th century, because the Muslim, were the empire, the Ottoman Empire, were in the Middle East and went all the way to Algeria. Just a minute. Now, the Muslims, the sultans and the leaders and so on, as he's saying, they did go to Spain. And one of the Moroccan leader, one of them, Tariq ibn Ziyad, he's the one who invaded Spain. And the Muslims from Syria, from all over the world, they went all along to Africa and they went to, he's right. But he never explained, and the Roman come afterwards and they kick the Muslim out. Are you listening? The Roman afterwards.
You weren't listening to me. Don't lecture.
The Roman afterwards. They did launch a war against the Muslim and they did gain the land again. Are you listening?
You should be a Christian.
Look at this.
You don't have any knowledge. You don't have any knowledge.
Look at this. You listen. And
You practice what you preach.
in the
Practice what you
14th
preach.
century, the Roman come back and then kick the Muslims out of Spain. If you go to Cordoba, Cartagena, Alhambra, and all the all Muslim architecture, nothing belong to Christianity or the Catholic. Now, hold on. You stole all our books when the Roman won the war. You stole all our books and you translated them. You had nothing at all. You were hungry all over Europe. You were starving.
Still waiting for an answer to my question.
Hold on.
Answer my question.
But when the
I'll
Roman...
remind you what the question was. How many lands are Muslims allowed to invade before Christians are permitted to fight back? That was the question.
I'm answering you. And he never explained the Urban II, the Pope in the 11th century, or he's 11, I say 10. He told to the Christian, he told them to go and murder the Muslims and the Jews all over, wherever you find them. Yes or no?
Right, so now let me answer his question.
Yes or
Now
no?
let me answer his
Answer
question.
yes or no?
Right, ladies and gentlemen,
And you
did
talk about-
anyone actually hear an answer to the question I asked? No, he didn't, did he?
Oh, yeah.
Here's the
How
question
many
I
land?
asked him.
How many land?
I'll ask him.
How many
Notice,
land? Hold on.
he demanded that
Can
I
answer
shut
you?
up.
Can I
He
answer?
demanded.
Can I answer?
You had your chance.
Can I answer?
You had your chance.
How many lands the
Notice,
British invaded?
he demanded that I shut
How
up.
many land the French
Notice,
invaded?
he demanded
Who started
that I
the
shut
First
up.
World War?
But he
Who
can't
started
shut
the
up
Second
now,
World
can
War? What are
he?
you
He
talking
can't
about?
shut up now.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because his religion has failed him.
Oh, yeah.
It has failed to make him a good man.
Oh, you are a mullah.
No.
Oh, you are a mullah.
Notice
You are
his
an imam.
behavior. Put his behavior on camera.
See? He memorized the Holy Quran.
Let's just correct his history. He said that it was the Ottomans that invaded Spain. He doesn't know
I
his
never
history.
see the Ottoman Empire.
It was
I never
not
see.
the Ottoman Empire.
I never see that.
It was the.
I
what's her-
never see that. I never
It was
see that.
exactly at that time
I
there
never
was
see that.
no Ottoman
I
Empire.
never see that.
It was the Abbassids
I
that
have
invaded
never
Spain,
seen that.
or the Umayyads,
I have
or the
never
Umayyads.
seen that. I have
That's
never-
who invaded
Don't put the
Spain.
word in my
They
mouth.
invaded Egypt. They invaded Syria. They invaded Lebanon. They invaded Palestine. They invaded Turkey.
But you
They
invaded
invaded Italy.
afterwards.
They invaded Sicily. They invaded Greece.
Yes.
Now let me. Yes.
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 But you invaded us
Yes.
afterwards.
No, thank you.
You invaded.
Thank you. Hallelujah. So,
You scratch my back, I
let's be
scratch
clear.
yours.
During the Crusades, were we invading Muslim lands
You did.
or reclaiming our own?
Oh, reclaiming.
We were reclaiming our own lands.
Oh, you reclaim.
Lands that Muslims had
You
invaded.
reclaim.
That's the truth of history.
Can the
And
Palestinians
if you
reclaim
think
their land?
anything different, you have been lied to, and you need to go and study your history
Can
some
the
more.
Palestinians reclaim their land?
Furthermore,
No.
Furthermore, his second historical error was that he said that the Romans liberated Spain.
It is.
No, you're wrong
Who
again.
liberated Spain?
You're wrong
Who liberated
again.
Spain?
Shut up a second, I'll correct
no,
you.
don't say shut up.
So,
I'm an Englishman
So-
like you idiot.
the Romans
You don't use bad
had
language.
passed out of existence as a state in the west of Europe by the 4th century. That's even before Islam started. You don't know your history.
No, I don't know. You know
The people that liberated Spain
What is your
were
problem
the
now?
Spanish Christians themselves,
Oh, so the Crusade.
supported
Very good.
by the wider Christian community of
Very
Europe.
good. So you admit.
Yes, I admit,
Good.
they liberated their
So you-
land
you-
from Islamic
No.
occupation.
You invade.
Tell me.
You invade us.
Ask
We
you
invade
again.
you.
No, correction.
What is that?
You invaded us,
the
and we
British-
tried to
listen,
reclaim the land you
The
invaded.
British were in-
Get it right.
Listen,
Get it
listen,
right.
Listen.
Get it right.
Listen.
No, you haven't listened the whole time I've been talking.
The French were
You've
in
been
Nigeria
shouting
for
at me
150
the whole
years.
time I have been talking.
The French
No.
were in Nigeria for
Ladies and
150 years.
gentlemen,
You
I
are
asked
an
this guy a
invader.
question.
You are an invader.
And the question was this: how many lands can Muslims invade before Christians are allowed to legitimately fight back?
No
He
fight
didn't
back.
answer the first
The
time.
Muslim took
Let's
Spain.
see
Took
if
Spain.
he will answer it this time.
No.
Your turn.
The Muslim
Yeah, go
took
on, 'cause
Spain.
he's not listening.
Yeah.
Go on, what's your
Answer it,
question?
answer it if you can.
I'm asking you to make a distinction between Islam and history of the Muslims.
Okay, go on.
So we have Islam.
Yes.
The principles of Islam
Yes.
are the principles of Judaism, of Christianity.
Yes.
That is the principles of Abraham.
Yes.
So we have these principles. And we have the history of the Muslims. The history of the Muslims is not representing Islam in the past and now. Now Muslims are killing each other. They are not killing Christians. They are killing Muslims in Libya, in Egypt, in Lebanon, in Sudan, and so on.
And they're killing Christians in all of those same countries.
So at the same time, there is
Just notice you didn't
there is a
mention that.
distinction between Christianity and the history of the Christians. What the colonialism have done to Africa and Asia is not representing Christianity.
Can I reply?
Of course.
Okay, Uncle, you asked in a very civilized way, so allow me to reply in a very civilized way. I agree with you that there are good Muslims and that there are bad Muslims. And I agree with you that bad Muslims, like those that do suicide bombings, are not representative of Islam. I agree with you. However, the invasion of Christian lands, the occupation of Christian territories, and the subjugation of Christians under Sharia law is an injunction of the Quran. I'm going to show you my evidence. Allow me to show you my evidence.
Just like
Allow me to show you,
colonialism.
sir,
Just like invading America.
I did not interrupt you. Please pay me the same courtesy. Don't now, when you started so well, degrade yourself. Okay? So, you've already said that colonialism is not representative of Christianity. And I agree with you. Colonialism was not representative of Christianity. It was representative of nation states who had made a god out of money, power, and their own national identities. However, you cannot show me in the Bible a justification for colonialism. But I'm going to show you now a justification for fighting Christians in war. Listen carefully. Surah 9, Ayah 29. Fight those who believe not in Allah, nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which hath been forbidden by Allah and His Prophet, nor acknowledge the religion of truth. Listen to the next bit. Even if they are people of the book, which you know is a reference to me as Christian, until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. That is what 1400 years of Islamic empires have meant for Christians. I can read you. This is in Surah 9, sir.
In one context, Surah 9,
So let's look at how he. Let's look at
that time Muslims were defending themselves.
No, they weren't defending themselves.
They were invading them.
Sorry, when they invaded Visigoth Spain in the 7th century, right? Because you don't know, I am certain you don't know about Visigoth Spain. Visigoth Spain. I'm certain you don't know. One second. Right. Are we agreed that you don't know anything about Visigoth Spain in the 7th century? You know. Right. Please tell me. Please tell me. 1 second, sir. You don't know my question. Here's my question. Here's my question. Here's my question. Please tell me what the Visigoth Christians of Spain did to Muslims to justify the Muslims invading Spain.
Okay.
I'll listen to both and then I'll put it.
One answer, and I don't believe on it. They will say the people of Spain invited us to come, and I don't believe on this.
Neither do I. That's rubbish. That's a
These Muslims who invaded Spain, they are representing themselves as politicians, as soldiers, but they are not representing Islam.
Okay, that's fine. Right, that's fine. You're consistent. So we've agreed that the invasion of Spain was wrong.
May I add something to you?
Yeah,
For example, Egypt.
What?
Egypt. To invade Egypt.
So you agree they invaded a Christian land
No,
called
to
Egypt?
invade Egypt, which is a Christian country.
Thank you.
And to turn the indigenous people of Egypt to second class citizens. No,
That's exactly what they did.
This is what is going now.
No, that's what exactly happened.
I don't
Go
believe
and go.
on this.
Yeah, but you
This
don't
is
know.
history.
No, yes, exactly, sir. It is my history. I am a Christian. I know Coptic Christians. I know their history. They were made second-class citizens under Islamic rule. And let me give you some examples of what Muslim rulers did to Christians. They said that Christians couldn't repair their churches without the Sultan's express permission, which meant that many churches became unset. And this little boy seems to know his history because he says it's right. And there you go. Because I'm the Muslim, I'm right. Poor guy.
But you do the same thing in Andalusia.
So, one second.
When you make the Reconquista, what you
I'm talking to him.
Talk about
I'm talking to the uncle. Stop
Do
being
you
rude.
do-
Do you notice? Do you notice all the time?
Talk about
All the time.
Talk about
All the time.
didn't
All the
talk
time.
about Muslims
No,
used to
1
be
second.
Spain.
Christian
In
Spain.
Spain.
It was invaded by Muslims. You've been lied to.
crucified
Christian
Muslims and Jewish.
Thank you. So
killed
let me ask
Jewish
you a
and
question.
Muslims.
Because at least you seem to be
all
willing
in
to
Spain.
answer a question.
It's
Okay?
true, man.
So here's my question to you.
Do not come
The other guy didn't want to answer it. How many lands can Muslims invade before Christians can legitimately fight back?
How many countries you
Thank you.
invaded
So the
today?
Crusades
Syria,
against
Iraq,
Islamic aggression were legitimate,
all
weren't they?
this country.
What they did.
Okay.
Not everything they did. Some of the things they did were criminal. They were criminal and wrong.
You are
I'm not
killing
saying that the
Muslims in
Crusades.
Syria.
Muslims are killing Christians in Sri Lanka. Muslims are killing Christians in Sudan. Muslims are killing Christians in Nigeria. Muslims are killing Christians in Serbia. Muslims are killing Christians in Syria. Muslims are killing Christians in Iraq. Muslims are killing Christians in Afghanistan. Muslims are killing Christians in Pakistan. Muslims are killing Christians in Lebanon. Muslims are killing Christians in Palestine. Muslims are killing Christians in Egypt. Muslims are killing Christians in Jordan. Muslims are killing Christians in Arabia. Muslims are killing Christians in Tunisia. Muslims are killing Christians in Algeria. Muslims are killing Christians in Morocco. Muslims are killing Christians in Chad. Muslims are killing Christians in yes, exactly. So before you lecture, you need to take that Islamic supremacism. You need to go find a private place and you need to stick it in a place that the sun don't shine. Because I'm not here to be lectured by someone who's seeking to justify Islamic violence. No, sir.
For killing everywhere,
coming back to your point.
You know this very well.
Spain.
This is the political history of the Muslims.
Yes.
I am defending Islam. I'm not defending the Muslims.
So,
Do you know Saudi Arabia?
let me
Do you think Saudi Arabia is
let me just
where there is no
one
laws,
second, sir. Let's stay.
no laws, no parliament.
Let's stay on topic. We've already established. That Muslims invaded lands that were not their own.
Yes.
Now, those Muslim invaders, when they were seeking to justify their behavior, what kind of verses were they quoting?
No.
I'll tell you. They were quoting
They are
this.
not abiding
It's all
by
over.
Quran.
Right. So explain to me, sir. Explain to me.
They are not quoting the Quran.
Explain to me how Muslims for 1400 years managed to misinterpret their faith, but the collective Muslim community over 1400 years managed to get Islam wrong, but you stood here today in Hyde Park are suddenly in a place to say they were all wrong.
May I answer to you?
Yes, please.
We have our political history and cultural history.
So, go on.
Okay. The positive side of our history is the history of literature, architecture.
Stop saying that we are born
Invasion,
with our Saudi Arabia. Come back from Afghanistan, Syria, from Argentina, from other countries.
You're
Come
being
back
rude to
from
your elder.
Australia and
You're
New
being rude
Zealand.
to your elder.
Stop to
So,
kill
go
people
on, sir.
The
everywhere.
positive side is the history
Save it.
of culture, of Muslim culture, of literature. You see, of laws. But this,
Who keeps coming back and having a go? Don't lecture me about aggression. I am not your dimmy, sir. I am not your dimmy. I am not your dimmy. God willing, Sharia law will collapse and you'll see the gospel in Mecca and you'll see cathedrals in Saudi Arabia.
those who invaded Spain are Muslims.
Yes.
And they are representing themselves.
I get your point.
They are not representing Islam. I'm defending Islam.
It starts young, guys.
No, I'm defending Islam.
So, sir, I understand
And
you're
Islam
defending
is
Islam.
unique.
I understand.
And for peace.
Oh, it's not at all.
Justice.
It's not at all.
And freedom.
Well, tell that to the ancient Christians because they didn't experience that. So let me ask
Guess
you.
what?
I've just told you what they
It's
experienced.
Islam or Muslims.
So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Right? I have on one hand a gentleman standing before me talking about peace and getting along and tolerance.
Yes.
And I applaud you for it. I salute you for it. I'll shake your hand, go have a cup of tea. Let's be friends, right? But on the other hand, I have 1400 years of countless generations of Muslims in multiple different lands invading countries that were not their own, and having scholars justify it through 1400 years. if our roles were reversed, who would you believe? The 1400 years of history with all the evidence that was used to justify multiple invasions, or the lovely gentleman in front of you? If you were stood in my place listening to you, who would you believe?
I'll believe you.
Do you see my point? Do you see why I can't believe you?
Yes, I am from Sudan.
What did the Sudanese government do to the Christians of South Sudan?
They do it to me.
God bless you, sir. Yeah. But tell to the camera, what did they do to the Christians of South Sudan?
Let me say,
If you don't tell the history, I'll tell the history.
okay, I'm from Sudan,
So tell me you're
the land of the Nile. When the Muslims came and invaded
Christian land,
our land,
which was Christian.
we defended it.
Yes.
And then we peacefully being transformed to Islam, and we became Muslims. So we know this experience of Spain, and we know our own experience, that we accepted Islam and
You are wrong.
establish our own culture, make this
Synthesis.
with our heritage. So we are Muslims. Our land hasn't been invaded.
No, your land was invaded.
Yes,
You just said that.
We accept Islam
Yeah, because
Right.
peacefully.
No, 1 second.
Peacefully.
1 second. There is a difference between accepting Islam peacefully and accepting Islam under pressure.
Of course.
And what actually happened to the Namibians, which is your people,
Yes.
is that they had laws imposed upon them that made it advantageous to become Muslim
Yes.
and disadvantageous to remain Christian.
Yes.
Which is what, thank you, he admitted it.
He admitted.
Yes, you
It
admitted
happened
it.
in Egypt.
Yes, it happened in
Many
Egypt.
Christians-
Thank you, he admitted it.
Yes.
So, that is not some friendly conversion where you saw the light. That is a sociological pressure that leads to conversion. What happened in South Sudan is what the Muslims had started when they invaded North Sudan. They wanted to impose Islam on the south. They wanted to Arabize the people in the south, and the Christians of South Sudan, and I know Christians from South Sudan, they took up arms against, and they fought a civil war for 18 years in which, yet again, another Islamic-inspired government invaded lands that were not their own and sought to impose Islam on people that didn't want it. 1 second. They killed 2 million Christians and animalists.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
2 million, a genocide.
Yes.
Yeah? They undertook to remove the Namibian heritage. Like when they built the dam and the backwash was going to flood all those Namibian villages. Is that a lie or the truth?
Yes.
It's the truth, isn't it?
It's the truth.
And I'll tell you why I know it's the truth.
Committed by Muslims against Muslims.
I will tell you why it's the truth.
Yes.
It's because I have been friends with refugees from Sudan, Muslims
Yes.
from Sudan.
Yes.
I got no problem with Muslims like you,
Yeah.
but I've got a problem with a religion that legitimizes the subjugation of my people, and it says literally, with willing submission and feel themselves subdued. The words subdued and subjugation come from the same root.
Yes.
You can translate that Arabic word to humiliate.
Yes.
Now tell me,
Yes.
do you want to believe in a book that tells you that other human beings should be humiliated and subjugated?
no.
But
Good, you should become a Christian then.
you have taken this item out of the
No,
context.
I'm stay a Muslim.
This historical context.
Yes.
It has been said by God for the Muslims to defend themselves in Medina and Mecca.
Medina and Mecca. I'm from Medina.
So it is not Islam. In Islam, there are many ayahs, many verses which say you ask people to become Muslims.
No, it doesn't just say that though, does it? No, yeah, I accept.
فذكر إنما أنت مذكر لست عليهم بمسيطر.
Sir, let me be clear because I think you're missing my point.
Yes.
I am not under the impression that Muslims stuck a dagger
Yes.
to Christians and said, become a Muslim or I will kill you.
Yes.
Though there are examples of that in Islamic history, I don't ascribe that to Islam. There are examples of that in history. Muslims did do that, but I don't ascribe that to Islam because I recognise that Islam doesn't teach put a dagger to someone's throat and compel them to become Muslim. Right? However, Islam turns Christians into second-class citizens where it
Not
becomes...
Islam, Muslims.
No, Islam. Islam does that. Islam does that. In which it becomes advantageous to become Muslim, but disadvantageous to remain Christian.
Yes.
That is what is more commonly known as apartheid system. South Africans did that to black people in South Africa.
And this is representing
And the main advantage is heaven.
And Muslims, no, of course it's not.
Okay.
But Islam has done that to
Not Islam,
Christians.
Muslims.
Look. I'll read it to you again. I'll read it to you again. Yeah? Fight those who believe not in Allah, nor the last day, nor hold that forbidden which hath been forbidden by Allah and His Prophet. In other words, you're fighting them because they don't believe.
Okay.
Nor acknowledge the religion of truth, even if they are people of the book. So you're commanded to fight people of the book because they don't believe. Until they pay the jizya with willing submission and feel themselves subdued or subjugated. Now, the laws that Christians are put under when they are subjugated are laws like this. Let me give you an example. Does this sound like equality to you? A Muslim man can marry a Christian woman, but a Christian man can't marry a Muslim woman.
No,
Is that equality?
No, can marry.
What?
Can marry.
No, that's a lie.
Not can marry.
That is not
What is
correct.
going on in
Sharia law.
Nigeria and Ethiopia?
If you don't know Sharia law, guys, this debate's
In
not
Nigeria and
How many Sharia
Ethiopia.
laws are there?
In Nigeria.
exactly. How many Sharia laws?
In Nigeria and
Everyone
Ethiopia.
has their
This
own
is what is going
interpretation
now.
of Sharia law.
So Sharia law's not some perfect
not
system,
Islam.
is it?
It's not Islam.
Exactly.
No.
I agree. It's
No,
not
it's
a perfect
not.
system.
Okay, Sharia law and the
Some law,
Anyway,
some
Bro.
lawmakers.
are you going?
It's not perfect, but
All right.
Okay.
Can I
it's
say,
the best.
shake a hand as
Are you
well?
going on?
Okay.
You have a
Nice
great
to
day.
meet you.
Have a nice day.
You said something now about the dagger thing, and honestly, like, I think you're a genuine person.
I am a genuine person.
I know you are.
My criticism is of Islam.
I know, and that's fine. You know what? Earlier, I think you mentioned a point about why attack Islam. I think attack's a harsh word, first of all, and criticism of any religion is fine. And if anyone else comes and attacks a religion, I think that's wrong.
So you're going to go and lecture the Muslims, right?
I don't. You think I agree with any of these
Honestly,
guys? No,
until-
you don't know me.
No, I
That's
don't know you.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know you.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is the fact that like you have good logical discussions. I've watched your discussions, and I think every religion should be spoken, or any ideology or thought should be spoken the way you do. It's based on text. If you show me that the Quran said something like this, and everyone's like, well, how can you say that? I'll be like, why is everyone surprised? Because the Quran says it. But then someone has to come back and explain it or something, yeah? But can I say something? You know, earlier you were talking about the وَالَّذِينَ قَاتَلُوا and وَالَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا.
Yes.
I mean, I can read Arabic. Can I see that? Because honestly, you're teaching me something new.
That's fine. One
Go
second.
back to the doctor, get your money back, please.
You agree they are different words?
الَّذِينَ قَاتَلُوا وَالَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا are different words. قَاتَلُوا means the ones that fought, and قُتِلُوا means the ones that got killed in fighting.
Thank you.
No, they were killed, not in fighting. But
1 second, I've just lost it. Sorry. It's going to take. Sorry, I've lost it. So
No
you'll
worries.
have to find it again.
because I know that in Arabic there's different writings and there's different narrators of the Quran, but there is no actual difference. The only difference could be in the writings. That we call it the khat. I've just learned that, by the way, just to come and counter your argument.
You've literally just learnt it. Right, 1 second.
Alright, Bob, catch you later, yeah?
Yeah, peace with you, bro. I do apologise about this.
What chapter is it?
1 second.
Chapter 3?
Right, here it is. Here's the right, is the word Kutulu there?
But that's not the Quran. This is what I'm trying to say to you.
No,
But
that is
listen,
not my question.
no,
No,
listen.
wait.
If you ask me, is the word qutilu there? I'll say yes. Qutilu
Thank you.
is there.
The word.
But if you ask me, is that the Quran? I'll tell you no. Show me the Quran.
Right, one
That's the
second.
difference.
Read that one.
Qatalu. Yeah.
Qatalu. So is the word qatalu there?
But one second.
Answer the question.
Yeah, the word qatalu is there. Let's
Thank you.
establish
Right,
that. Okay.
now make your point and then I'll address
Okay,
it.
so you've showed me two pictures
Yep.
of two Arabic texts,
Yep.
okay, that are different.
Yes.
But can you show me that there are two Qurans that are different?
Yes.
Because that's two photos, which I have no clue where they are from. If they have, because you know how many times those words are used in the Quran? More than
Yep.
once.
Yep.
So they can be from different parts of the Quran. I wouldn't know.
They're
So I
from
need-
Surah 47, Ayah 4, just for your record.
47 ayah 4. Surah Muhammad.
Maybe just Google it. Surah 47, Ayah 4, Hafs version, Wash version, see what comes up. But here's the thing, bro. If I am proven correct, when you go away,
47, ayah 34. Yeah.
right? Ayah 4, yeah. Which version are you using of the Quran? Is this the Hafs?
Yeah.
This is probably the Hafs because that's the version that most Muslims use.
That's it.
So what does it say?
الذين قتلوا في سبيل الله.
Yeah. Right. So now what you need to do is get the same ayah in a wash Quran and compare. Surah 47, ayah 4. But if you find, when you research it, that I'm not lying to you,
Yeah.
and I'm not making things up because I'm
I don't
bitter
think
or-
you're trying to.
One
Yeah,
second.
I don't think that.
If when you investigate it, if you find that I'm right, then you need to ask yourself what are the implications of this finding.
Of course, that's what I just did, and I went and I learned something.
Is it a wash?
Yeah.
Where does it say wash? Oh yes, yes. Surah 47, ayah 4.
This was 5G. Yeah.
If only. If only. That guy, we've honestly got nothing to gain by lying.
Yeah, no. But you know what it is at the same time? I think the best way for you to approach this is someone educated like yourself, it's like in religion really deeply, that has a strong background knowledge in Arabic. Like, because when I spoke to someone just now, they said that the words are, the khat may be different, but the pronunciation, you never pronounce it differently.
Right, so you're not reading them.
No, you are, but apparently it's not. It's like the khat is different, but the word can be read in the same way. So when you say qatalu and qutilu, see, that's why I have to go and
Yeah, but this is my point, bro. Muslims are told that the Qurans are identical. I am evidencing the fact that that is a lie. If the Qurans are not identical, the idea that all the Qurans are the same is also a lie.
Yeah.
And if that is also a lie, it means the Quran is wrong when it says none can change the words of Allah.
But if you go ask any Quranic scholar, they'll give you the same pronunciation of that word.
That's not if they're not reading the text.
No, but they can explain that to you. That's what I'm saying.
Look, I can hear as many excuses as you want to give.
Yeah.
But at the bottom line, the texts are different, the words are different, the meaning is different. You've got different Qurans, which means that not all the Qurans are the same, which means that you've got to choose which Quran's the original, which means that someone changed the words of Allah. And Allah says no one can change the words of Allah, so the Quran is wrong. So Islam is not true, which means you need to leave Islam and you need to come to a better religion.
No religion makes more sense than Islam.
Well, I'm afraid if you think Islam makes sense, you've got a lot to talk about.
It does. But there's different versions of Islam.
Which version are you?
No, actually, Jafari.
What, sorry?
Jafari.
Jafari, is that one of the schools of Sunni jurisprudence? What's Jafari, sorry?
It's from the Shia school of thought.
So it's a Shia thing. Okay.
But to be honest, it doesn't matter. I mean, the only thing is just when it comes to the study of the religion and the practice.
I find that Shias are altogether much more pleasant than their Sunni counterparts.
Not all Sunnis as well. I wouldn't group them all together.
Certainly here in the park. In the park, Shias are so much more pleasant than Sunnis.
It's different. Yes, he is Sunni.
Yeah, but he's not a regular in the park, you know?
In the park is a different thing. I think some people do it like.
Have we got Surah 47?
I'm actually reading something about this and
Yeah. Have we got Surah 47 ayah?
Apples is the best app. I don't know.
What? Are you in like Surah 6?
Yeah. So,
Oh gosh, dude, you're getting tell you what, bro. Let's just do two thought experiments to save you time.
Yeah.
All right, two thought experiments. Thought experiment number one. You find the passage, and the words are actually the same.
Surah 47 verse 4 you said?
Yeah. So we're going to do a thought experiment where you find the passage in the wash, and it's the same as that in the house.
Yeah.
What conclusions can you legitimately draw from that?
So that you're saying that they're different, or sorry?
No, in this particular thought experiment, you eventually find the passage and the words are the same.
Yeah.
You have to wash match.
Yeah.
What legitimate conclusions can you draw from that?
That basically, because there is more than one person who's narrated the Quran, right? And I think there's 7 if I'm not wrong. So if at the end of the day, it's you always, if you find, like, if I find in the Quran lots of mistakes or something like this, it's the same word. If you realise, really. No, can I explain? They have the same source of origin. The words,
but it's not the same.
No, no, it is. But I just explain what I mean. Okay. The source of the word comes from the same origin. So if I say kill or
fought,
so qatalu and qutilu come from the same source word. So
but they're not the same.
Their ancestral word is the same.
But they're not the same, are they?
Yeah, but I mean,
are they the same?
No, the words are not the same. But are they the same in the Quran? I mean, but then if they're not the same, then it could be a mistake. But when the whole consensus that the word has one pronunciation, and this is my point, is that's where, if they are different, that's where if there's a whole consensus that the words are the same pronunciation, then they are the same word, and there's a mistake in the writing.
Right. So just think through logically what we're saying.
Yeah.
Right? I am disproving quite successfully today that the belief that the Qurans are all the same is an error. Is an error. That's not true. There are different Qurans.
I disagree, because everyone agrees on one Quran. Everyone agrees on it.
Except they don't.
Sunnis, Shias.
Do they agree on the house or the wash?
Probably on the house. No, on the wash. وَالَّذِينَ قَاتِلُوا. I don't think it's وَالَّذِينَ قُتِلُوا.
You don't think? So now you're deciding. Now just see what you've done.
I'm not an expert in the Quran.
But here's the problem. This is the problem that you would still face this even if you were a knowledgeable scholar that knew everything.
Yeah.
You now have to decide which version of the Quran is the original. Qatalu or Qutulu?
Yeah, but that's why I have to go to the experts who've studied the depths of the Quran.
Exactly.
But then they would know the answer.
But what's their argument? Their argument isn't actually the words are the same. Their argument is that the words have the same root. But the word subject, and the word subjugation have the same root, but they're not the same word. Not every subject is subjugated, and not every subjugate is a subject. You can be in rebellion, but you can still be oppressed. You can give your willing subjugation with you can.
Can I see this?
Yes.
So the verse says,
which we've already confirmed.
Qatalu, yeah? Over here, and I'm not making this up. I don't know how it says Qutilu.
Yeah. Right, so what we have here
is different to that picture.
Exactly, it's different to this picture. So your conclusions to draw are following. One,
the wash in here is different to that.
Yes, there's different washes. You are aware of that?
No, because this picture isn't the Quran, that's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is all you have there is a different wash that has obviously been revised to conform to the house.
But can you bring me a wash that says otherwise?
We already have.
Where?
It's on DCCI videos. They brought 32 different Qurans. No, 26 different. Was it 26? It was 26 different Qurans.
But are the errors man-made or what? Like, because I know that there's a general consensus where me and him can bring the same Quran from home and we'd have the same Quran.
I'll tell you something.
Would you deny that? What do you deny if I brought 20 Muslims from here now and we all brought our Quran and they would all be identical?
I don't know if that is true.
Yeah, because the printing is usually the same source.
No, well, yes, and that's probably what you've got there. Is you've got a revised edition of the wash. In terms of these manuscripts.
Wait 1 second. So you're saying that there was a mistake along the line, and then it was corrected.
I'm saying that's one possible way to explain it.
Okay.
That's one possible way to explain it. But the reality is that means you then have to make a decision about which Quran you believe in. The Hafs, the Wash, and which version of the Wash.
On that level.
Because there are textual variants.
I disagree.
I'll give you an example.
But I haven't seen textual variants.
This is no word of a lie.
Can you bring 2 Qurans right now in front of me and show me textual variants?
I've shown you photos
that
of
would
2
make your
different
argument
Qurans.
so much stronger.
I agreed. I agree with you. If I had them in my hand, that would make my argument stronger.
Yeah.
However, those photos are from Qurans. The fact that
I
you
can't trust that.
doesn't matter to me.
Is that understandable? That's fine.
I don't care if you don't trust
you're
it.
trying to make a point. You would want to give a trustable proof of evidence.
That is trustable. That is trustable.
What, a photo?
So what do you think you were reading? A forgery?
Possible, yeah, honestly.
Right. Now you're desperate there, bro.
No, yeah.
That's desperate.
I'm not
if you think that Christians,
I'm not arguing with you, by the way.
but what I'm saying to you, if you think that we Christians have nothing better to do with our time than try to forge the Quran,
I'm not saying you forged it.
Right, but
did you make that photo?
No, I didn't make that photo. Scholars have made that photo. I'm going to give you a book to go and get by Dr. Daniel Brubaker. It's called Textual Variants of Earliest Quranic Manuscripts.
Yeah, I have a lot of reading to do before I get
Right. Yeah, you need to get that book because it looks at your oldest Quranic strata of evidence, the Sinai manuscript, the Petropolitan manuscript, the Husseini manuscript, the Mail manuscript. These are some of your oldest Qurans ever. And then it takes them and it compares them to your 1924 version. And what you see is there are corrections. There are corrections where words are erased.
Printing corrections.
These were handwritten.
Printing mistakes.
These were handwritten, not printed.
Okay, yeah, writing mistakes. So
Yeah, they were written mistakes.
Yeah, so if I write something and make a mistake, I'm not perfect.
But exactly.
But the Quran is.
But then you have to decide which Quran do you believe in.
The thing is
Which Quran's correct? The Husseini, the Mail, the Sinai, or the 1924 version? Which one's the original?
I have to go and ask the scholars.
Exactly. But then they're going to be making the same choice. They are going to be choosing for you which is the original Quran.
No, I don't know. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is right now, what I'm trying to disagree with you on is like now I got a washout or I got 2 Qurans from different homes.
Yeah.
And one's a wash, one's a house. I'd be very confused. I won't lie to you. I'd be very confused if they were different, pronounced and written. But if the writing, the handwriting, or like the way it's written, the harakat is slightly different, that's fine.
We're talking about different words.
Yeah,
That is my argument.
Yeah, but no, that's why I'm disagreeing.
No, we are. No. You don't get to make my argument.
No, because I'm not an Arabic
talking
scholar.
about different words.
Yeah, but you know when you ask me like, are these 2 different words?
Yeah.
I'm not a scholar in Arabic. I'm not an expert in Arabic. To tell you, I can confirm for you these are 2 different words. That's where you can prove it, and that's where you have such a solid debate. Sorry, a solid case if you get an Arabic scholar, like in Arabic,
Yeah.
someone who's very knowledgeable, and get him to agree.
Brother,
that 2 words are
let me
different.
tell you an anecdote.
That's what I'm
Let
trying
me
to
tell
say.
you an anecdote.
Ask him
Brother,
to comment
one
ahead
second,
to
one second,
read
one
it.
second. Let me tell you an anecdote. This is why I know I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when I was at university studying Islam, I studied under a Muslim lecturer. He had a collection of Qurans from different parts of the world. And I had come across this kind of information. And I went to him, right? And I brought this up in academic conversation. And he said, well, that's great. I have a Warsh Quran and I have a Hafs Quran. And he pulled them both down from his top shelf. He opened them up to the passage I referred him to. And right in front of me, you could almost see the bomb go off in his head. Like, he read them and it was like, whoa. And he said, I don't have an explanation. He acknowledged that there was a difference. He said, I don't have an explanation. And that was how the conversation ended. He said he was going to go away. He was going to come back and give me an answer. He never gave me an answer. I don't know what happened to him.
I'm sure there's a lot
So
of people like that.
I have seen it with my own eyes, an Arabic reader having 2 Qurans in front of him, recognizing a
Was he a
difference.
lecturer in Arabic? Was he like a
No, he wasn't a lecturer in Arabic. He was a
what I'm
lecturer in
trying to say,
Islam. I'm sorry, bro. Like you're
What a lecturer in Islam? Yeah, like what?
you're appealing. I understand why this can't be
Do you
true.
understand? Look, yeah, because number one, you're telling me a this story. You're not bringing me two Qurans that are different.
I've shown you the photographic evidence.
Photographic evidence of like, it's not even a whole page of the Quran. You've got like a little clip.
Look, you can cast aspersions on it as much as you like.
Yeah, I mean, that photo,
it's
I
still
can't-
there,
yeah.
and you recognise the difference in words yourself.
Can I say something about the book that you recommended? Because I have bought it.
Yeah.
Have you bought it?
Not yet.
Okay. It has pictures of the original manuscript, okay, and it has also pictures of the 1924 Cairo edition of the Quran, okay, and you can clearly see, you can compare the differences between the two, and you can see all sorts of changes. You can see changes of words, you can see deletions, you can see additions, you can see all sorts of changes. So I think that would be quite enlightening. And also, you know, there are Muslim scholars who will talk to you about the Sana manuscript and so on, early manuscripts, and they will say they are not the same as the Cairo edition.
Yeah.
Like for example, Isanalu and Articulates. So these are
Muslim scholars.
Muslim scholars, and they will say to you that there are variants.
So, you know, when you say Muslim scholars, to someone who's Shia like me,
Yeah.
it's,
All right.
it's like no, it's not that they're Sunni, because even Sunni scholars I accept some of them. What I'm trying to say is, for us, it's not about Muslim scholars. There's Muslim scholars calling for the beheading of children. That doesn't represent me or what I believe. So you have to like give me like a Muslim scholar that I would accept and see what he would. Do you understand? So it'd be a scholar that I would accept and then see what he says. That's
Right, bro, you've got some reading to do.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, you got some reading to do, but you've been such a pleasant guy. I've really enjoyed talking to you. Have you got an Injil?
No, but I find one every hotel I go to.
That's fine. I want to give you this as a gift. This is my gift to you. You've been such a pleasant guy. Have a read of it.
Yeah, I know.
Write down your questions. Come and grab me another time. We'll go somewhere and we'll talk.
And you know, earlier also you mentioned something about how many countries...
I'm gonna go now. I need a cup of tea.
But you mentioned how many countries the Muslims have to invade before Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
The answer is very simple. Two wrongs don't make a right.
So no, answer my question directly. How many lands can Muslims invade before Christians can legitimately fight back?
One.
Thank you.
But
Have a good day.
But one second.
I'm going.
One second. Yeah,
Going
but do you
for my
know,
cup of tea.
because that kind of twists it.
No, it doesn't. That's
No,
just
let
what
me
happened in
explain.
history.
If a Muslim 1,000 years
happened in
ago killed one of your ancestors, does that mean you can kill one of my ancestors today?
Just happened in history. The Crusades were a legitimate response to Islamic aggression.
Oh,